listening to this 25-year-old, bro, like crushing it in the insurance industry, bro. And I was like, dude, if he can do it, I can too. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm not on the beach, if you guys thought that at first. It's just my Zoom background because it's just a plain blank wall. But from unknown to unforgettable, we got Aiden Stout and we got Jared Firstel.
Dude, you got it. That was good.
Firstel, baby, let's go. We got. This is the first three-way podcast on From Unknown to Unforgettable. Like, I'm just really excited. So welcome to the podcast, guys.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us, Johnny.
Dude, yeah, totally. So I guess the first thing is like we all connected, some of the youngest guys in the room at 8%. And I was just like, dude, we got to have you guys on because there's a lot of young people who are not taking action now, that are waiting, going to get degrees, going to do these different things. But you guys are taking action now to be able to build your guys' businesses now, which is really cool. It like fires me out. It gets me so excited to like see that. And so like, I guess like, how's the journey been so far? Like, how have you guys got to the spot you guys are now? Because you guys are young, crushing it, killing it, and building something really cool. So tell me a little bit about like how you guys got there and how you guys like met and all that stuff.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I can start with that. It's also very inspirational seeing you do what you're doing as well, Johnny. So, it's right there, back and forth in that regard. So, but me and Aiden went to college together, Ohio Wesleyan University, played soccer, and became boys almost immediately. He's got the jersey in the background right there, as you can see. And about my sophomore year, Aiden was 2 years above me in regards to grades, and started asking questions about what he's doing after college, just trying to figure myself out as well. And he talked to me about what his dad's been doing for the past decade at that time, which was a Medicare brokerage. And so, talk about residual income, working for yourself, building something. And all of that kind of spoke to me immediately. And I kind of set my sights on that. From that point on, didn't really even look at other jobs. I was really like fascinated by wanting to build financial freedom and learning how to sell. And that kind of became, my pathway into this business is directly involved with Aiden and his family. So huge gratitude for them, obviously.
That's crazy. What about you, Aiden?
Yeah, soccer was like what I studied in college. I didn't really know what I was going to be. Like, I went to junior college first because I really didn't know. Then I went to a four-year university. Again, I picked a good program, but they had a good business department. I was like, okay, business is at least practical. Let's start there. And my dad, I'd known kind of what he had been doing. But I was still going to school. I did an internship with him for like a credit. It made sense. I was like, yeah, let's check out more about this. And I just saw day to day, he's just talking to people. He knows a ton about what he's talking about. They really need help. They don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Solves the problem. Bang, bang, done. And he just told me about the other sides of the business, like the fact that, yeah, you can build on top of what you did last year. He sets his own schedule. It's like, this is really interesting. So I started looking at other things. I looked at real estate. I did a real estate internship. I looked at, just taking entrepreneurship classes. I saw other versions of business. This one spoke to me a lot because what you do yesterday can add up forward. Whereas, if you're cutting hair, you got to cut hair every day kind of thing. So that attracted me. I'm more of a quality over quantity person. So I like the idea of doing, one good day of business at a time, and it can really stack. And I wasn't like, doing anything suspect with, securities trading or anything. So I just liked that it was a very like helpful industry. And then from there, I really had no idea what it could turn into, but I gave it a chance to start. Again, just being practical, trust a great industry like insurance to be the platform. And 3 years in, it's like, dang, this is even better than I could have. A lot more avenues, a lot more options. There's a lot more to it than I ever foresaw. And then finding things like 8%, finding other business owners, and we can just like help each other. Like, it's awesome. So I really love business in general. Insurance was a great.
Dude, yeah. I have to say this, dude. I was cold knocking door to door business, and dude, this is like surreal. So I'm like literally door knocking, business to business, cold door knocking, cold calling. I'm literally in downtown Phoenix, and I'm like sitting in my car listening to this 25-year-old bro, like crushing it in the insurance industry, bro. And I was like, dude, if he can do it, I can too. So like, honestly, like it's insane because that was actually Aiden. And so like thinking about it, dude, like literally you like inspired me to like really take some massive action, because I was like, dude, I can get there if I like find the vehicle. I just need to find it, right? And so I'm like, dude, I got into insurance, but like I wasn't like sure like what kind of insurance I wanted to do. And I knew life insurance you could do a ton. And so I was like, bro, there's no way like this dude was able to like spend a whole day with Cody, break down the business, all that stuff, and film a podcast. Like that's gonna be me one day. And so like I was like, it's crazy to think now. And then all of a sudden I see you on a Zoom call, reach out to you, bro. Hey, would love to talk. You say to send me to the admin, what is it called? The admin account. And I was like, bro, this is me ignorantly just being like, oh, like, dude, he's Hollywood. Like this dude is young and he thinks he's all that. Sending me to admin. Like funny. Really? But all to say, he literally that's his actual email. So that wasn't a throw. Like, it's a funny story.
That's good.
Like for real, having both you guys on the podcast, especially you, Aiden, just like that's like I had to share that because like great. But
you acted fast.
Awesome.
Look how quick that happened.
So
a lot of people watch something like that, not from me, but maybe another entrepreneur, and not do anything for years. So props to you, man.
Yeah, no, appreciate that. And I think like that's like one of the biggest things I've been thinking about, and like different people ask me like, what's like, how do you like go from like thinking you're rich talks about like thought to action. I think like, what are some takeaways that you had from 8% that you've implemented now? That like, I'm just really curious. And if you guys don't know 8%, Cody Askins, I actually have his pen here. But Cody's like a really cool guy. He, yep, dude, same here. Yeah, I got
expand your vision, baby.
Got the bracelet too, but
let's go.
Yeah, no, Cody hosts like a huge like insurance conference, and we're able to connect there just for insurance people all across the globe. But what are some like takeaways you guys took from that, and how you guys have implemented and take action now? Because it's only been like about a month now, almost close to a month.
Yeah, not even a month. Yeah.
What are some like things that you've already implemented into your guys' daily lives?
Sure. Yeah, Jared, I can go first this time.
Cool.
So like, going to 8%, that was the second time I'd been there. The first one was awesome. I took action and joined his Power Players group because I was like, I want to be I literally had written down, I want to have the lowest income in the room. He literally gave me an opportunity to. So taking that leap of faith gave me a ton of insight the next year. So going there a second time kind of just like reiterated how many avenues you have, how much stuff you can do, and it can kind of paralyze you, I guess, if you see all of those choices. But like the bottom line is just be active and follow processes that work. If you're new, niche down. First year, just learn something. You don't have to do everything. We're getting more holistic because we have a couple years of experience. But if you're new, niche down, like Johnny, I believe you started with FE maybe and just went hard on that.
Just mortgage protection, yeah.
MP, awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So you niche down and it's showing because you're just boom, 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 app. So for me, like, yes, shorten the thought, action, take away the emotion in between. But then Jesse's speech really resonated with me because like that's how we make decisions as business owners. But once you're in front of the prospect, like how can I get my soul into that talk? What are they here for? How can I show them it matters and that, whatever the case may be, solve that problem for them, but bring soul to that conversation. So that was something I immediately wanted to bring to each meeting, because behind the scenes, I can make things happen quick. I can do my thing. But when I'm in front of the prospect or speaking to a group of people, like how can I bring out that soul? Because that's what makes people want to work with you, I think.
So good. Yeah. And let me ask you something. How like doing that Power Player stuff, was that nerve wracking at first? Like what were your feelings going into it? And like, what are some things investing heavily in yourself? Like how'd that play out for you?
Sure. That's a really good question. So yeah, to be honest, our first trip was in Naples. I didn't really know anybody in the group. I tried to connect with people beforehand, but I really didn't know everybody. And of course, a lot of them are some of them have built 9-figure businesses, like I'm a new 6-figure earner, like not knowing exactly where I fit into that or what I can teach them. Yeah. So I just came in ready to give value. I made a lot of awesome relationships that could help me set up my future. So joining early, most kids would be too intimidated to, but because I joined early, my future will be that much more, like I can plan my next 5 moves, right? Because I know what everyone's specialty is. I know what other people are doing. They're going to help me. They're not hiding all of the information. You talk to them, you make a relationship, they're going to help you. So came in nervous, squash that emotion, right? Just keep acting. And it really set me up for like being able to see what's ahead, right? Kind of having like a clear windshield when I'm driving. Yeah.
That's awesome. Jared, so were you able to go on any of those trips or no?
I didn't go on any of the trips, but I was sitting down next to Aiden when he wrote down, I want to be like the lowest earner in the room. And Cody comes up on stage. She's like, hey, I got a great opportunity for everybody here. And it was the mastermind, and Aiden took full advantage, which was amazing to see. Because not everybody's going to take advantage. Somebody might write it down, but that's what Cody talks about right there. You write it down, it's 900% more likely to happen. And in 10 minutes, it came to fruition. So I have not been on a trip, but through Aiden, I've made a ton of connections because of that opportunity. But 8% in general, the conference itself, I really took away what Greg Gerberkian, I believe is his name. Gerbikian. Yeah. Awesome dude. I was able to talk to him at the Denver 8%. But on stage this year, he talked about how his mom, his kids, his wife, his family, when he's on a sales call, none of that matters. This world goes away and it's just about the client in front of you. How can I bring the most value possible to the client right in front of me? And it really allowed me to kind of hone in on, oh, I'm not just some sales guy. I'm not just talking about Medicare. I'm really trying to help this person. This is the most important person in my life right now. And so that's really helped me connect my heart to what I'm doing. So I'm super, super grateful for that. Also, other than just takeaways, the amount of connections and opportunities that come out of just being in that room, which Cody and everybody talks about so much, just getting that room has allowed me to like look over at somebody who's making maybe 9 figures a year and go, oh my God, that is a human being that is making 9 figures. What's to say I can't be that human as well? It just kind of, humanizes everything in the business. And I've taken away a lot just from that. So those are probably the 2 biggest takeaways from me.
Yeah, honestly, like it's cool that Cody created that platform. And honestly, that's my desire, to be able to create a platform for young entrepreneurs to be able to like get in the space, get in the room, and like, there is power. Like I've always been like, okay, get in the room. I get it. But like, what do you do in the room? Like, what are some things you actually take away from the room? I think like the biggest thing for me is being able to have limiting beliefs shattered. And like one of them that I had was like, I can't get to $100,000 a month business if I'm not investing heavily in myself now. And it's like, dude, if like, 10 grand a month, like in investing in like staff, like resources, different stuff is like a lot. But at the same time, like to get to where I want to go, like that's nothing. Cause I was like thinking of like, okay, say if I were to get to $1 million and I were to spend 100,000 to get to $1 million a year, like, would that be a lot? No. Like just thinking about it. Right. And so I was like, oh shoot, like that's actually kind of crazy. Like if you change your like unit of measurement from I don't know, it's just crazy, like those limiting beliefs. And so I was thinking about that. I'm like, okay, if I implement this into my life, hire some people, build out that infrastructure, which I was like, I'm going to wait so long for, I just did it. And honestly, it paid out, because it's like, dude, you just like, it's cool. It's really cool. It's so awesome, like being able to take that action like immediately and like over and over and over again. And like being able to like automate things out so that you're able to keep the momentum going. That's one of the biggest things that I've seen recently. But Jared, what are some things that like you've like coming out of college and did you go straight into insurance?
I did, just about. Yep. Work part-time. Yeah. That's
awesome. So what are some like beliefs you had to change from going from a college student, having fun, probably like having a good time, roommates, all this stuff, to like now, oh shoot, I'm going into the real world. Like now I got to pay bills. I got to do these things. It's not like all that fun stuff, but it's like the real world. What are some obstacles you had to overcome in that transition?